Welcome to Sabrina's Craft-nanigans, where this month I am part of the Thrift Flip Road Trip with Sammy, Trish, Kay, and CJ. Check those ladies' links out in the description box.
Hey guys, I'm Sabrina with Sabrina's Craft-nanigans. I am part of the collaboration for my very first time. It's my very first collaboration. I am beyond excited to be part of this family with these beautiful ladies on this Thrift Flip Road Trip. There we go. I got it out. Your hosts are Trish and Kay from Crafting Cousins and Sammy from Unicorn Dust Designs. And the guest host for this month is CJ from CJ's DIYs. All of these beautifully talented ladies' links will be in my description box below, so make sure you go and check them out. Also, make sure you check the link for the playlist of all of these wonderfully talented ladies that have joined this collaboration and see us flip our thrifts. Now, my choice out of my quite big stash, part of it's my fault, part of it's Shelly's fault. Thank you, Shelly. I've decided to take some spindles. I did get some inspiration off Pinterest, and I will make sure that those are plugged in to the video as we go along, as you start to see what I begin to create. I hope you enjoy this video. Make sure you check out the links to those lovely ladies in my description box and hit that playlist to see all these beautiful ladies and all their great, wonderful creations. There is so much talent in here. I cannot tell you how honored and excited I am to be part of this collaboration. I hope you guys enjoy.
So here are two of those spindles, guys. I'm about to get ready to cut. You can see down in the bottom right, I already cut one of them in about a 2/3 piece and a 1/3 piece. And this other one, I'm cutting about a 1/4 off of it. And that'll give us basically stair steps with our two spindles, now cut into 4 pieces. Ta-da! I'm just taking my sanding block and just sanding off the ends where I cut them. And that was it. I did not saw any of that old paint off or anything. I am now taking my Waverly white paint, chalk paint, and giving these guys a really good coat using a chippy brush, making sure I get in all those little grooves, nooks, crannies, and all that good stuff. And I do give all 4 chunks 2 good coats. Boom, there you go. I did change my mind on the crimson later, but I'll use Shamrock by Apple Barrel. I'll need Scallion by Waverly and my white by Waverly. Here's what we're making, friends. These are 3 ideas that I got off of Pinterest. It was Pinterest inspired. And I kind of put my own twist on things, of course. Going to start with that Shamrock Green by Apple Barrel, the tallest one of the chunks that I have cut. We're going to paint this whole guy with that Shamrock Green. And I'm just using another chippy brush and making sure I just stipple it. And I'm only going to put 1 coat of dark green on this guy. And I'm going to get the whole thing, all the sides, top and bottom. Now, these 2 smaller ones on the 4 sides, I'm only going to do 2 of the 4 sides and do it with the Shamrock Green by Apple Barrel. The other 2 sides will stay white because that's going to be the red part. So you see, this is why I only put 1 coat on. You can see like still the white, and it's a lighter color and kind of like a watermelon rind. I'm now taking my Scallion by Waverly, and I've got a little chippy brush right here, like a distressing brush. And I dab, 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 and spread, spread, spread. Dab, 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 spread, spread, spread. I put it on all the edges from top to bottom, and then I give it a stripe through the middle. And I try not to go too heavy because I didn't want it to be too bright. So what happens here in just a second, after I go all the way around on the tall one here, it was too bright for me. So I take another little stippling brush, distressing stippling, the rough furry brushes, you know, guys. I take a smaller one and I go back to my Shamrock Green. And I'm just trying to blend all of that together. And of course, I'm going to do the same to the small green ones on the 2 sides I did. So there we go. Green is done. And that only got 1 coat of all of that. And then I blended the Scallion. Now, I changed my mind on the crimson here in just a second. I'm using Flag Wet Red by Apple Barrel. I'm now painting the 2 sides that I left white on the 2 middle spindles with the red. And again, just using another brush, getting in all those little nooks, crannies, because remember, this was really rough because I did not sand off any of that paint that was somebody tried to strip off. I wanted to leave that texture on there. I do get the top and bottom, so it looks like a part of the rind of the melon, and then now we have the inside of the melon. Making sure those guys are dry good. I did give it 2 coats of red. Now you can see messy painter alert again. That's what I'm pointing out. It kind of got on my green rind. So back to the green, back to my small stippling, distressing chippy brush. And I'm covering up that red that got out onto the green edges. That's all I'm doing. You can slow this down. I was trying to get through this fast because I didn't want to take up all your time. But you can slow the videos down in YouTube so that you can see exactly what I'm doing. And then I'm just using a wipey here to try to make sure it does stay a little bit neater. I do hit that top and get my rind on there really good. I'm not worried about the bottom anymore at this point. Back to the scallion, and since I did that dark green shamrock, I kind of went back with my scallion again, and I'm kind of going back and forth. I'm not even cleaning that brush, the chippy brush, stippling brush. I'm just kind of going back and forth, to blend it all together, which I realized was the easiest way, and I should have done that to begin with. Now that that's dry, I am taking Waverly white chalk paint, and I'm putting that white part just in between the green and the red there on the sides. Just giving it, I dab, 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 brush, brush, brush. I kind of do a little bit of everything. Brush, dab, stipple, whatever works good. Now I've got that Ballerina Pink by Waverly, and I'm trying to get a little bit of a pink tone in there between the white and the red. And then you'll see I dab, 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 brush, 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 stipple, 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 and then I kind of make even swirly motions, and Gracie's coming to help again, and just trying to blend it all together. And you'll see here in a few minutes, there's my wipey. And I'm just rubbing the fire out of that to really try to blend it. And then there we go. There's our 2 smaller ones. There's my rind, and there's my watermelon. You see my tall green one in the back there, ready to go. He's just like a full watermelon. I didn't put any red on him. Ta-da! Then here's the littlest piece. I'm going to make him just like he's just a big chunk of melon. So I will end up giving him 2 coats of the red, which I did do on the red on the 2 middle spindles right there. I did do 2 coats of the red. So it was 1 coat of the green and 2 coats of the red. And now I'm putting on my green just on the bottom, like you had a chunk of a piece of watermelon. And there is no straight lines at all to this whatsoever. This is the only one I do paint the bottom on. The rest of them, I don't stress out about the bottom. So once I give that 2 coats of green on that time, because I had to cover that red, back to the scallion color, and then just blending it all together between the scallion and the shamrock green. Just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, dab, 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 rub, 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 getting the wipey out, because I'm just trying to blend it all together, making sure my red's covered pretty good and I didn't stick a green finger on it somewhere. Once that gets good and dry, about to take my white Waverly chalk paint, and then you see I rub, dabble, stipple, just all the way around between that green and red. And then, of course, I'll go to that Ballerina Pink. And notice I didn't even wash the brush out. I use the same exact chippy brush, stippling brush, to just right there to kind of blend it all together. And then, of course, I'll take my wipey again and kind of rub, rub, rub. Now, I realized I like that white on the edges, and I just did it on the long edges. And then after I stippled that on the edges, kind of like to distress it, I rubbed it. So it gave it a little bit of a pop of the color. You can really see it on the big one. Remember, you can slow this down. Time for some seeds, people. I'm just using black apple barrel paint with a thicker tipped brush. And all I'm doing is pushing down. I'm really making sure there's quite a bit of paint on my paintbrush. And then I take it and just press it down. That's all I'm doing. Press and lift. Press and lift. And just randomly placing them on there. Trying to make sure that my one side looks different than the other side. Trying to not stick my finger in the middle of a black spot. That's always fun. I will do the same thing on the two middle sticks that are kind of a half and half rind, half melon. And there we go. Ta-da! Now we've got seeds. Stay tuned for that giveaway coming up.
Welcome to the Thrift Flip Road Trip. In today's video, we are participating in an open challenge hosted by Unicorn Dust Designs, Crafting Cousins, and special guest host CJ DIY. Here, talented creators breathe new life into old items. But wait, there's more. We are thrilled to announce that this month's playlist will have a special giveaway with 5 lucky winners. Prizes include a deluxe easy bow maker from Buckeye Girls Lifestyle, a craft tool kit from Lady Red Crafting, a mystery box with crafting supplies from DIY Next Door, and 2 wood craft kits from Crafting Cousins. To enter, just watch the July Thrift Flip Road Trip playlist and comment your favorite project from each creator on their video. You must comment on every video to be eligible. Mark your calendar for July 27th when we will announce the winners on our community tabs. I'm sorry, due to shipping costs, giveaway is open to U.S. residents only. Don't miss out on this chance to win, and be sure to spread the love by following the playlist link in the description box below.
Okay, guys, back to our little spindle melons. I'm going to take my drill, and I've just got some little sticks that I got from a bag from Dollar Tree, which I'm sure you could go in your yard and get your own stick. I took a drill bit that was about the same size as that, and I hollowed out one right in the middle of the tall one. Now, on these 2 middle ones, which are the half melon, half rind, I put them in that back corner of the green. I just drilled my hole, walled it out a little bit, and then stuck my stick down in. I'm going to take some wood glue from the Dollar Tree and just rub that around the end and stick them in, just to make sure that they stay in there. I will end up taking a pair of like trimmers, and I felt like they were too tall, so I do trim the tops of them off a little bit here. You'll see in just a second. I'm going to take some ivy. See, those are the clippers. I told you I'm just clipping them off. Some fake ivy, and then some Rafiki. That's what I like to call it. Some raffia. And I'm just going to take it, shred it apart a little bit, and tie it to the ends of the stems, along with some pieces of the ivy, fake ivy plant that I have over there. Words are failing me. Lord have mercy. I'm using my little glue pen right there by Bonder, which is amazing to do small stuff. And then my little makeup applicator there to help prevent myself from burning my fingers so bad. Needed more raffia right here, more Rafiki. So got some more of that on. And then what I'm doing is, if you were to slow this down, I'm taking it and I'm just kind of pulling it apart and shredding it and making smaller little pieces out of it. And of course, I will do this. This is the tallest one that looks like a complete melon. I will also do this to the 2 shorter ones over there that are the half, like the melon's been cut open. Now, if you had smart brain, you would have Mod Podge before putting all your raffia and vine on, but I don't have smart brain. So I had to be very careful putting the, well, didn't have to be careful, but I did take my Mod Podge to give it a clear coat, and I just kind of held it upside down, holding the raffia and the ivy kind of out of the way so that I can make sure I got all of that. And I did give all of those 1 coat of Mod Podge. There it is. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, these 2 things came from Thrift Shop as well. The Cherish sign came from the Goodwill. I'm just going to take that and sand that off. Little wagon came from my friend Shelly, which I was reassured that it was thrifted. The sticker on the bottom said it was like a telefloral. So obviously some florals came in it. Going to take my finger sander and I'm just going to sand all that off. And oh my God, that took forever to get all of that black Cherish the day off. Holy goodness. I'm going to take my plaster chalk paint by Waverly and another chippy brush, and I'm just going to give this a hard distressing right here. Not worried about completely covering it. I'm going around the sides. This is going to make us a little sign to go with our melons, by the way. And then I'm going to get the top part really good. So just a really good distressing. I'm not worried about completely covering it. I even turn my brush sideways and do it sideways a little bit. All that good yeah. Now to the Waverly wax. I'm just taking that same chippy brush and got some of the paint off, and I'm just going to distress it some. I'm going to go over the whole entire sign, which was only 99 cents from the Goodwill, by the way. It's going to go around my edges. If I did too much, like one part here, like that side, I felt like I did too much. I just took my wipey and wiped some of it off. Then I'm going to take the chippy brush and just really go around those top edges just to make them come out a little bit more. So that's it. Nothing perfect. It's all just a rough brush. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Give it a good dry. Now we're going to talk about what we're going to put on it. I found this cute little thing in Cricut Design Space. I added the arrow to it though. I made the farmer's market label, which will go on the wagon. The farm fresh watermelon goes on the sign. Now, of course, for any of you that have a Cricut or don't, you know that any different color you use comes up on a different mat. Well, I don't want to sit here and prepare 4 different mats. So this is just a little hack if you didn't know. You can take, and by clicking the 3 dots, click Move Object and click it to the first mat, which for me was my white one. You can take all of your images, or however many will fit, and you can put them all onto one mat. So now instead of having to prepare 4 mats, you only have to prepare the one. The only trick to this is you have to be careful when you do put the vinyl on the mat. So we know that the watermelon and then this outline is in red. So I need to check it where that is in the spacing. Like that starts at 3 and goes all the way down to 12. I know my arrow is in black. Takes up about 6 squares right there. The farmer's market's in white. And then that side over there, that was in the green. So my mat is set up exactly covering the same squares as it is on my screen. So you just got to kind of count, look at your numbers, be careful. And this will all go together. No, I double, triple, quadruple check, and I always give myself some extra. And here she goes. Just using some glossy vinyl. Gonna load that up, gonna get her cut out, and hopefully if I've set it up right, which I have made mistakes, people, trust me. But this one mat technique is much better than 4 mats. I'd rather take the time to count and put it all on one, especially if you're doing a small project like this, than to have to set up 4 separate mats. There she is. I always burnish it and make sure it's down good before I start to weed. This was a task. I'm going to weed this arrow for you and then save you the mercy of the rest of that. Now, that's the transfer tape I use. Love that transfer tape. I went ahead and got my pieces, got the transfer tape on, then pulled my pieces off the mat. Always remember, go with gravity, just like I'm doing here. I'm pulling the backing off and my picture is on the table. Okay, those little letters did not want to, and I even ripped one of the curly cues off and have to like patch that back on here. You can see over there where watermelon sign is with the green. I added that green to the watermelon together before I pulled it off the mat. Here I am taking this. I'm just going to burnish this down to my sign. We're making a little farmer's market sign here. I tried to make sure that was straight. It was not once I started pulling it off, but I stopped recording and I did some little cutting and rearranging, and it's not so bad. Going to put the rest of this on. Going to put my little arrow up there at the top that I added. Get that on first. Then I'm going to put the rest of our farm fresh watermelons on. Pick yourself. Pulling that back very slowly. And remember, this is even sped up, guys. But this goes very slowly. And there we go. I was on the struggle bus today with that vinyl. I don't know why. I usually don't have much problem. But woo, problems today. Even though it doesn't look it. Just taking my X-Acto knife and kind of cutting in between where those slats are. But I'm not going to cut any of the tiny pieces. Here's our wagon. I'm taking some alcohol, wiping down the one side that we were going to put those farmer's market words on. I don't want this to go all the way across. I'm just kind of putting it kind of like on the one end, and I'm going to offset it a little bit. Yeah, too much paper drives me crazy, guys. Sorry. This is why it took me so long. So I'm going to put the farmer's market towards the top. Burnish that on. Pull that off. That's why I love that transfer tape. It comes off very easy. And then don't ask why this market is in 2 separate pieces. We're just don't even ask any questions. Just follow along, kids. Sorry. Yeah. But it does come off. I do get the word market off of there. And I'm putting that kind of over and under the word farmers. You'll see why in just a second. Burnish that on. Doop, 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 doop. And pull that off. And there she is. And you could use this for anything. You could use this for every season, but that's why I have that offset, because the sign will go to the side right there. Now I'm going to take some Excelsior and fill my wagon. Here's Gracie back. Moose will make an appearance here as well, because it's like, oh, grass, Excelsior, plants, oh, anything. Oh, yay, Mom's got food. So go to make a mess with that and get that in my wagon, because we're going to take our little wagon and we're going to put our melons that we made with the spindles. There's Moose. Oh, look, food. Mom's got food. Yay, Mom. Now, everybody off the table. Thank you. So we're going to take these guys and we're going to just set them in our wagon. Just however you want to rearrange them. Prop our little sign up right there beside it. Look at it. It's so adorable. It's so cute. They came out so good. I was so excited. I love how they're just kind of whimsical, because it looks like there's bites taken out of them or something, because the spindles were all wiggly and wonky. And here we go, guys. Farm fresh watermelon. Pick your own. Kind of go around here. And remember, this wagon is versatile. You could use it for every season. With fall coming up, I'm probably going to throw some pumpkins in there and some corn. When Christmas comes up, I'll throw some ornaments or trees in it. I could use it for any season and just repurpose it. Ah, so functional. I love it. Love it. I'm going to give you a closer look at the melons here. Kind of going around and around and around. I'll kind of spin them around here and give you a look-see-doo. Aren't they so cute? And then a little sign, just kind of switched everything out. There's my tall one that looks like a whole watermelon. And then my little medium ones that are kind of half and half. And that's so cute. I love it. If you loved it, guys, like, subscribe, share. Oh, look, you could even, if you had a big enough tier tray, set this up in a tier tray too. I know it looks kind of bare, but I loved it. I loved it. Don't forget, check out these ladies' links down in the bottom. Sammy from Unicorn Dust Designs, the Crafting Cousins, and CJ, and go to those ladies. Okay, guys, make sure you like, subscribe, and share, and comment in everybody's video in the playlist for a chance to win those prizes. I love you all.